94Rocks, the Dark Jay-Z hanging out once again at RockFest here in Cadott, Wisconsin. And I got a couple of my close personal buddies here, that being Jacoby, that being Tony. And Jacoby just looked at me like, what? We're talking about Papa Roach here, bye. Hey, how's it going, first of all?
I'm good, man. Just glad to be here at RockFest, about ready to rip it up. Just watched a little bit of the boys in Gwar for a minute, checked out some man-ass, and here we are. Yeah. Let's go.
First of all, I'm sorry to pull you away from Gwar because your tour manager was telling me you're a huge Gwar fan. And let's you got a fan geek on some people sometimes, too. So is that one of your fan geeks or what?
So I was 18 or 17 years old. My friend Kyle Satchwell, which was an older friend of mine, he took me to a few of my early concerts, and one of them was Social Distortion. That was on my 18th birthday. But before that, went and saw Gwar, and he's like, I had no idea what I was getting into, and he's like, you gotta wear a white T-shirt. I'm like, all right, whatever, because I didn't know the legend of Gwar. I didn't even know anything about it. So I show up and just get demolished by the band, right? And I'm thinking, as what's his name? Brad. So Brad was in here just shortly a few minutes ago. Tony's good friends with Brad, and I was just thinking,
amazing drummer, right?
So I'm just sitting there, just thinking in the back of my mind, like places you would never think that you would find yourself 20 some odd years later, chilling in the dressing room, rapping with the drummer for Gwar. Like, cool stuff, man.
Talking about Gwar dildos and can we say that?
That's okay. Yeah, this is nighttime radio. It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, man, they were just going through all their new merch. That happens to be one thing.
Yeah, apparently they got these big old giant, alien-looking dildos. Wild.
They're like hot sellers, too.
My anniversary's coming up.
Yep.
Man, honey, look what I got you.
Hey, it's a piece of Gwar.
Jacoby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about your wife in just a little bit, too, by the way. So a little bit something different on that. But anyway, I don't even know where to go with this because you guys have been around for so long. So I really just kind of want to move forward to kind of where you're at currently right now. And obviously doing this for so long and the grind. And how do you guys still do it? I mean, you're not as young as you used to be. I'm not as young. I'm 50 years old. I mean, I know Tony's here a little over that, and I know you're just a little under that. So, and how do you do it?
How do we do it?
I mean, we drink the best coffee now.
Yes.
We play some of the best shows now.
Yes.
And we just maintain a positivity on tour. And we love touring. We love doing what we do, getting on stage. And I think that's a main driver. And to connect with music, with people, it's like, that's even better. Like getting on stage, playing some new stuff, and just people are in it, and it's crazy. I was just talking to Shannon from Godsmack, and he was like, man, you guys are just killing it right now. He's like, he did the trajectory thing, and he's just like, I'm like, it's crazy, right? Like, the band hits it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Plus, and then it's just, again, on the rise. It's we're so thankful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
I got to tell you, man, the fire in it, I think, comes from the live shows, and we just did a run through Europe, which was our most successful European summer tour ever. And coming off the heels of that, it's like, all right, we're feeling good. We're feeling real good.
I have a hell of a time just getting up each morning now at this RockFest in day number 4, and you guys have been doing this for years. I mean, I know things have changed, definitely, but you got to be endurance, and you got to work yourself out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Like yesterday, dude, personal best yesterday, freaking 5 miles at 7:50, 7.90, or it was just underneath the 8-minute mile for me. And I'm like, I guess I was running from something yesterday. I don't know, running from myself. I'm just running from that cheeseburger I ate the day before,
30 years ago, could you imagine you guys being here today where you're at, especially for you, Jacoby?
It was the goal, to be completely honest. Like, I was that delusional that I was like, I'm going to be a rock star, and I'm going to do this until I can't do it anymore, till the wheels fall off. And, I found some dope wrenches. So whenever the freaking, the bolts get a little loose, dude, it's like, all right, let's strap it up, let's tighten it down. And, man, it's just, I think for us, we still got a lot to prove, as writers and creators and musicians. And, we've seen a lot of our peers be successful ahead of us, and we're like, there's always that like thing, like, you know, and not that I'm not grateful for what we have, but it's like I always want to push myself. I always want to like see what's next, but you know, still stop and smell the roses. You know,
What's changed the most?
oh man, everything.
The scene,
Yeah.
the way people consume music, the way they purchase music.
Yeah, the style of music, the genres of like over the last 20 some odd years, we've seen like a few different amalgamations of rock come and go, and you know, it's for us. We just try to make music that connects, and fortunately, you know, we made it through the dark ages of rock, I believe, and it's emerging again. Right now, it's like poking its head into pop culture more and more often, and that's a great sign for us, especially for, you know, some legendary bands like Godsmack or Papa Roach or Slipknot or Korn. You know, it's like we're experiencing that. Like, it's been 20 some odd years since our first breakout success, and now it's like the bands that are coming up that are successful now were the ones that were inspired by our bands, and so it's dope.
So that's the next question. What do you tell these bands? You had the drive, the energy to get here today. It's not like it was 30 years ago.
This is what I tell them. This is what I tell them. Good luck keeping up with us. Young Buck, you got what it takes, Young Buck? Do you? No, but I got to tell you, there's some young artists out there that, not that I'm a mentor to at all, but I definitely like, if somebody asks me, especially vocalists, I'm always like, are you working with a vocal coach, you know? And just I'll bestow some wisdom, you know, because I've been through the ringer on this voice thing. I've had a few surgeries through the years and taken my lumps, and you know, if I can help a young artist in any way with any good advice, like, I love to do that. You know, I think knowledge being passed off to the younger generations is where it's at. You know, I mean, I remember the drummer for Faith No More, Mike Borden. We were on tour with Korn. He was playing drums with Korn at the time, and it was my birthday. He invited me into his bus. We smoked a bowl, you know, and he's all, hey man, if I could just give you like just a little piece of wisdom, man, because you guys are on the rise right now. I see this rocket ship taking off. He's like, the same people you meet on the way to the top are the same people that you meet on your way to the bottom, so act accordingly.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was honestly some of the best advice I was ever given from another musician.
So basically, that's an endorsement. 1-800-Jacoby Shaddix. Yeah,
right.
anybody out there, you can give him a call. He's going to help you out.
Holler at me. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important that we look out for each other. You know, I mean, this, especially in the I guess the day and age we are in now with like rage drama is like the new thing on the internet. So it's like, I don't take part in that.
Well, the question I have is, a radio programmer, obviously gravitate Papa Roach. I'm going to gravitate Godsmack, Shinedown, all those. So how, there's not a lot of playroom left for the new bands. How do those next new bands get in on that?
I mean, dude, if you got another new artist that's moving you as a programmer or as a I feel sometimes you got to take risks.
Push them.
And try some new stuff. And hey, man, if that takes me getting bumped out of the way, well then, dude, I got to go do something better. You know what I mean? Like, that's it, dude. And you know, bands like Beartooth or Falling in Reverse or Bad Omens. You know, there's a lot of really good ones coming up. I Prevail. You know, it's like that's that next generation of rock, you know, as Metallica kind of takes that Rolling Stone space, and, you know, who's going to go take that Metallica spot? You know, I see Slipknot going for it. I'm like, oh, man, come on, boys. We gotta challenge these fools, you know. So it's a friendly competition, you know.
All right. You mentioned Falling in Reverse. Yesterday I sat down with Ronnie.
Oh, yeah.
Did the same thing. We had an interview. Want to talk about his reimagined version of Last Resort. He told me about it, that actually it brought his girlfriend to tears and your wife to tears.
Oh, yeah,
the
man.
Version he did. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I think it was like probably about 2 or 3 years ago, we had hit him up. We hit a few different artists up about, hey, we want to do a reimagination of Last Resort. You know, we'll celebrate the history and the legacy of the track. And he was just like, oh, I'm all about it. Hit me up a few months later, and he's like, I really got something special I'm doing right now. Like, I'm really excited about it. And, you know, time goes on, and then we went and did a tour, and the first day of the tour, he's like, dude, I got that version I want to play you. It was last year. And I remember he came to the dressing room, and I just had goosebumps. And when I heard it, I was just like, oh, man. Like, you just tapped into the raw emotion of the lyric, you know, and really made it special, made it his. And I just recently, I was on tour, and my wife, She comes FaceTimes me. I'm like, why are you all? She had like all tears in her eyes. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, honey, I just watched heard the song Ronnie did, Fall in Reverse, the cover of Last Resort, and I just was moved, and it's like, it's really, because it's been such a massive part of our lives, Papa Roach, right? Like this song we put out, it really like gave us a career, gave us an opportunity to like go make an impact on the world with music, and to see it kind of come back at us in such a powerful way, like can't ask for anything better. You know what I mean? Like he nailed it. That dude he's wildly talented, straight up. Like dude, it's crazy too, Max. I see that dude sit down on a piano and start ripping, and I'm like, that's probably one of the coolest things I think that coolest quality about that dude is he's got these little secret talents. I'm like, hold on, you're good at piano too? That's dope.
I tell you what, I would love to sit here and talk you through ever, but you got a show to come up in.
We're going to throw it down tonight, baby. Let's go.
So let's talk about that really quickly. You played here in Wisconsin before. You played RockFest before. What do you feel like the energy here is like?
I mean, it's Wisconsin rocks. They don't call it RockFest for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we came to bring the rock, so let's connect. Let's throw down. Let's have a party tonight. I want to leave with people remembering our performance. That's the goal.
We're here to energize the people.
Yes.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks so much for sitting down and taking a few minutes out of your time to hang out with me. It was
no problem,
lot of fun,
man.
And our listeners enjoyed it too.
Appreciate you banging Papa Roach music, man. We appreciate that, man.
Once again, that's Jacoby, that's Tony, that is Papa Roach at 94 Rocks.